pointed at Don and Hal and said, settle down, settle down.
What?
Hope you all are looking forward to a great program today. I'm very excited with all of our Page Scholarship recipients and our RILA participants. But first, we'll start with the invocation and pledge and four-way test. And Bobby, you can move out of being president, but you can't run too far. So
I don't have to stand in the front of the room to do this, do I?
you do not.
Pray with me, please. Lord, we give thanks and ask for your blessing for this day, this club, its members, and their families. We thank you for the resources and talents and the ability to share these blessings to help others in the world who are less fortunate. Please bless this food and the nourishment it will give us today. We ask that you bless Kevin Barth and his family at this time of his wife's illness. All these things we pray in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
of all the things we think, say, and do.
Is the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Did you have a moment you'd like to share?
I got a whole hour if you want. Some of you probably heard this, and you should bear with me if you have, if it's redundant, but those that haven't, I do have a Rotary moment. It was about 15 years ago, about this same time of year, maybe a little bit earlier in the summer, and when the club met over at Star Mountain for breakfast, and it was kind of a big room, and we had about half as many people as this. And at some point in the meeting, or right before the speaker came, Tim Albertson came busting in the room, and he had on a pair of running shorts and a singlet and a number on his shirt. He ran up to the front of the room, and he basically had a little pep rally to engage club members to go and run with him in December down at Kiowa, some sort of half marathon, and he was going to make it a fundraiser. We had fun, and so on. And I'd been in the club about a year, and I thought, well, that sounds like a neat thing to do. I'll go down there and keep Tim company. It turned out he and I were the only ones that went. But here 15 years later, and I know I've run 20,000 miles in the last probably 50 pairs of shoes, and I probably would have never even discovered something that I enjoyed if it hadn't been for that one little moment in this club, and just, it was really nice. It was kind of neat.
Well, it made everybody else go get more bacon.
All right, Sergeant at Arms report. I think we've got some good guests and visitors with us today.
Morning. We have 40 members in attendance, and Zach Engel, this guy, visiting from Summit. Sean and Kelly Roberts, guest of Treasurer Williams, guest of Sarah. Wilder, the guy who moved the president person. Katie Quinn, Dan Quinn's daughter. Sam and Jenny Elliott, guest of Brandon.
Wonderful. Well, Brian, if you want to just keep standing up. So birthdays and anniversaries, and a big thank you to Brian, who really immediately responded and said he would fill in for Kevin on birthdays and anniversaries. And again, keep Kevin and his family in your thoughts and prayers. We have reached out to him. They don't need any assistance at this point, just your prayers. We'll keep tabs on that. And I will send out his address for people if you want to send cards. We understand that his wife is at Moses Cone.
Well, for birthdays, we have Beth Sheffield tomorrow. For Rotary anniversaries, Max Kern tomorrow is 20 years.
Wow.
And then for wedding anniversaries, David and Sherry Crabtree. Just quickly wanted to let you know that
that the club is making a donation in memory of Rusty Hoffman's father, who passed away several weeks ago. We're doing it to the scholarship that was established in his mother's name at the NC State School of Engineering. So just wanted to let the club know that. And fundraiser.
Fundraising committee, we're going to have a quick meeting after this, so we'll step outside for 5 minutes and have a conversation.
Step out back.
Out back. Yeah, you have to.
Any other announcements?
Pick stock, October 11th. Put it on your list. We're probably going to have a practice cook here in a couple of weeks. I'm starting to feel, sort of barbecue-y here in a lot, but we haven't done this in a while. So anybody wants to volunteer, we're looking for assistant chefs. Maybe most of the club. Thank you.
All right, well, this is a great day in Rotary. It's always a great day when we have a new member join us. So very excited today that we will have a new member induction. Dennis?
This is an exciting time, isn't it? New member. And we're really, really happy with this one. Sean Roberts, veteran that fought in the wars and everything else over there. So we're ecstatic that we're able to do this. And to get this done, I brought our professional person to do it.
Thank you, Dennis. Gate City Rotary was founded in 1991, and I look out in the room, I see a couple of folks that were with us there at Charter Night that early summer, and we're still going strong. And part of the reason for that is that we are able to continue to thrive and grow in the community, grow with our presence and our contributions, and that growth starts with growing with new members. And it's always a very special day when we are able to bring a new member in who is in a position to make that commitment for service of ourselves. And at this time, I would ask his sponsoring member to introduce him to the club once again with some brief remarks.
This is my new and very good friend, Sean Roberts. It's taken a long time to get him in the club, but new members and good members never rush through our process around here very fast. Sean, as many of y'all know or have heard, has served our country well overseas, been through a lot to get here, and he came to our club through Kelly Harrell and had him speak here. He's got his wife Kelly. We were just remarking that we've got Kelly and Kelly and Kelly. Evidently out of Corey, Kelly turns the trick, it gets the job done. So, but anyway, we're very proud to have Sean come in here. Some of you may know that about his service and whatnot, and this is the first time that we know of that a Rotary Club has inducted a retired service member at this young age. And so it fits a lot of bills for Gate City Rotary, and we're just real proud to have him.
Thank you, Chip. And it is my and all of our pleasure this morning to welcome Sean Roberts as the latest member of Gate City Rotary. As the sponsoring member has just informed us and told us a little about him, we indeed welcome him aboard, and on behalf of the Board of Directors and all of our membership, we sincerely welcome you here. Our welcome is not only in anticipation of the good fellowship we'll share with you here on Thursday mornings and during social outings. We welcome you, Sean, for your strong arms and sturdy back, which will help us carry out many service projects which, in a small yet significant way, make our community, our country, and our world a better place for all to live. For all here, Rotarian and non-Rotarian alike, let's be reminded of these important facts. First, Rotary is not a political organization, but all Rotarians are vitally concerned with everything pertaining to good citizenship and the election of good men and women to public office. Second, Rotary is not a charitable organization, yet its activities exemplify the charity and the sacrifices that one should expect from people who believe that they have a responsibility to help others. And third, Rotary is not a religious organization, but it is built on those eternal principles that have served as the moral compass for people throughout the ages, as well as the foundation of our great country. Rotary is an organization of business and professional people pledged to upholding the highest professional standards. Rotarians believe that worldwide fellowship and international peace can be achieved when business people unite under the banner of service. So at this time, I would like and request everyone to please stand for the delivery of the following charge. You, Sean, have been chosen for membership of the Rotary Club of Gate City. Your sponsor and fellow members believe you to be a leader in your special line of work, and that you embody the qualities of head and heart that fit you to interpret and impart the message of Rotary. You are the representative of your vocation to this club. At the same time, you will now become an ambassador of Rotary, and we rely on you to carry the principles and ideals of service to those with whom you work. Additionally, we expect you to help us and to help inspire us, your fellow members, to become better Rotarians. And I now ask the sponsoring membership person to present you with the distinguishing lapel pin of a Rotarian. It is our hope that you will wear it proudly for others to see. Also included is your official certificate of membership in Rotary, and a declaration of the four-way test to help you be reminded of what it means to be a Rotarian. And allow me at this time, Sean, to offer you the right hand of fellowship of Rotary. And fellow members and guests, I have the honor of presenting once again our newest Rotarian, Sean Roberts. And I would also invite each of you to individually extend the hand of fellowship and introductory welcome as well. Thank you and welcome aboard, Sean. Thank you.
Oh, sure. Well, since returning from the military, I've been seeking additional ways to serve my community. And I found an extraordinary opportunity to do just that here with Gate City Rotary. My father-in-law is Rotarian, my mother is Rotarian, and my wife is a former Rotarian. So I understand the importance and the significance of being in Rotary. And I'm honored, I'm very humbled that you would accept me into Gate City Rotary as one of your own. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for doing so. Thank you to Mr. Kelly Harrell for inviting me to speak this past October. And thank you, Mr. Chip Person, for sponsoring me. Thank you.
We have just a little, sorry, there we go. I can stay up here just a little bit. Will Tom Richardson and Dale Hopkins come up, please?
Sean, I hope I got to take you.
All right. So, Sean, this is where we went from red badge to blue badge because they were able to fulfill certain requirements, and Chip will be guiding you through that whole process. But at this time, let me go ahead and switch out with you. Well, maybe, yeah, that's, and you can keep the red as a souvenir. There you go. Congratulations, guys.
All right, so happy dollars.
Happy dollars, all right. Kelly, I want to know when you're going to join the club. We don't like us former Rotarians. Great job. Oh, Emily's golfing.
All right, so my happy dollar is actually for Buster, who took the time yesterday to meet with an intern at CCL, who he's getting his MBA at Boston University, but his family owns a business. They would like him to join the business after he gets his MBA and continue it on. He's not so sure that that's what he wants to do, so I introduced him to Buster to have a conversation about owning a family business, and he really appreciated that. So.
He's going to become a monk.
My job here is
Well done,
Damn.
This happy dollar is thanking Beth Sheffield for letting me volunteer and help with the opening of the new library. And I urge all of you, come to Lake Jeanette Road, right almost on the Rotary and next to the fire station. It's a beautiful new facility, state of the art. Every chair has a plug-in.
Not every chair, the chairs in the windows and in the teen area.
It seems like they're everywhere. I mean, there's all the windows all the way around. It's just beautiful.
There's a library living room too. So
Yeah.
I'll owe you $1. I didn't bring one with me.
But it's a fireplace, even in the summer, a virtual fireplace.
3 to 6 on Friday. The new Glen McNary branch is opening.
We got the dollar over here.
All right,
Yeah, I was
there.
gonna say, this is like a happy 3 hours.
And you can get your library card at the branch. If you do not have a Greensboro Public Library card, you can get there. And the children's area is phenomenal. There's a teen area. There's all sorts of interactive gizmos.
They did charge by the minute.
Since last week, Buster wouldn't take my dollar because it didn't look good. This week, he's taking my dollar because he doesn't have to give me change. Anyway, I am so happy I have completed another brutally semester. Nobody told me that summer semester could be this brutal. I've never ever done summer semester before. And I'm happy to say I came out smelling like roses, all A's. Yes.
Erica, I see you with your dollar.
Thank you, Lester. So my happy dollar is for Chip. On Tuesday, we had a board meeting and we went over this, 50-page document of Gold Club. And I was literally like a deer in head, like what the heck is E-Ray? I mean, there was just so much stuff that I had no clue about. So I, in a panic, emailed Chip and said, please help me. Can you go over this with me so the next meeting I'll at least have a clue what we're talking about? And without hesitation, he did so, and I really appreciate it. Now I kind of understand a little bit better. Please stay available. Thank you so much.
Between the 2 hours,
Great. I got 2. One, it's good to be back, good to feel better, good to have my whole family with me. The other is kind of a conditional happy dollar. Sam and Wilder had a little experience at Rotary Youth Leadership of teaching everybody how to shag. So, and I'm pretty sure they were shagging together. I'll leave it alone.
I'm happy to have all the Riley group here today. While Katie took off, Judy and I went off for a quick trip to Hawaii, and I got to meet a 93-year-old vet in one of the hangars in Pearl Harbor, and I had a conversation with him, and he said, were you here? He goes, yeah, I was here. I said, well, you were asleep, right? He goes, no, we'd sent the seaplanes out to see if we could refuel the submarines, and it was just an amazing experience to have him say, I was sitting right here, and I saw them come here, and those are the bullet holes, and there's where I hid. And it was just an amazing experience. It was a lifetime experience for me.
Buster, before Grandpappy comes along, I just want to say, every now and then you get reminded of why you become a Rotarian, or how great it is to have a family around you. Dale, Dorothy, Beth, all of you who took time out of your busy schedules to support me, to make sure I was able to go through the summer semester. I'm eternally grateful. Thank you.
But y'all are familiar with the footprints in the sand thing, you know? Y'all know what I'm talking about, the little thing about the footprints. Please tell me you know what I'm talking about.
What are you talking about?
You know, well, Grandpappy had one on his wall, and it said, when there were 2 sets of footprints, that's when I was walking with you. And when there's 1 set of footprints, That's when you were talking about your cat.
Okay. Sarah is going to introduce our program and our visitors for this morning. So, Sarah?
Good morning. This is an exciting day in Gate City Rotary. What we do so much is, Dan is talking about our fundraiser and everything that we're doing for that, and we do it because of some of the students here today. Being the youth services chair, prior youth services chair, this is kind of the culmination of that role, and this is the most exciting part of it, definitely. Starting off this morning is our scholarship presentation. Treasurer Williams here from Page High School. I had announced a couple weeks ago that we had awarded the scholarship to her. One of my most favorite things about being a part of Rotary, we start the scholarship process, have about 20 applicants that are given from teachers and counselors and things like that. We narrow it down and then we do interviews, and it's always so amazing to go sit in front of these students and listening to what they're doing as seniors in high school. It's a reflection to think, gosh, I never did any of that when I was that age, and it's really remarkable to see what they're doing both in school and their communities and their plans for the future. So it's my honor this morning to present Treasurer Williams with the Gate City Rotary Scholarship, and I think she's going to say a few words.
Hello everyone, my name is Treasurer Williams and I'm a recent graduate of Page High School. I will be attending Chapel Hill in the fall. I actually already started. Service means a lot to me. It's something that is dear to my heart and something that I will continue to do as I go through my 4 years at Chapel Hill. I plan to be involved in almost everything they have to offer, and they have a lot to offer. And starting off strong with one of their dance marathons that benefits the local hospital is one of my goals to start with. I'm so appreciative of the opportunity to have received this scholarship. It means a lot to me, and though people may say it's not a lot, it helps covers books or something like that. And so something like this means dearly to me that I was chosen because I knew each of the finalists and they were very strong competitors, and I was thankful and very shocked to have been chosen. So I just want to thank each and every one of you for this opportunity, especially those on the scholarship community who interviewed me. This means a lot to me, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for me. Thank you.
And on the other side of youth services is not only the scholarship work that we do, but also the Rotary Youth Leadership Program. And so typically we sponsor students both that are members, children within the club and also outside. And this was a bit of a unique year. We had 4 member students attend the Rotary Youth Leadership through Gate City. Sam, Wilder, and Katie. I know I've just even sitting with them and talking. It's exciting to hear what they've been doing and everything that they've done. It's out at Guilford College. They just completed the program last week. And it truly is a leadership training. They were talking about the Myers-Briggs test they're done, and they'll tell you a lot about it. But they're just here this morning to say a little bit and realize the fundraiser that we're doing and everything that Dan is talking about, this is where our dollars go, and this is what it allows us to do as a club, and it really means a lot. So I don't know if he wants to go first. We didn't talk about it, but I assume Katie probably would. Oh, whatever you feel comfortable.
Official. Awesome. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Good morning, Gate City. I would like first to thank you for the opportunity that you gave us to attend the Rotary Youth Leadership Program. I can assure you that every student at camp deemed this experience life-changing. Over the course of a week, 42 strangers became 42 family members. We learned about ourselves, each other, and of course, leadership. Personally, I would love to talk the whole morning, but the guys said they have to speak, so I will have to let them. So I'm just going to highlight some of the activities we did the first 2 days. On Sunday, the first day of impressions and formal awkward conversations. Many people were thinking, oh great, I'm at a nerd camp. I was thinking, oh great, a whole room of control freaks. Okay. But once we started talking to each other, our perspectives really changed. The first lesson we taught about was mental models, the little boxes we put ourselves in, and when judging others and perceiving the world. For example, the idea that Ryla was a nerd camp, or that all the attendees were control freaks. This was the first step to opening ourselves to the potential followers and leaders. Our amazing teacher from CCL, the Center for Creative Leadership, Lisa Ryan, thought this being vulnerable. Then in smaller groups led by a Ralph advisor, we shared a life journey, a visual map of the most impactful experiences of our life so far. This exercise made us trust each other and open a personal connection with all the attendees. The LA groups were already on their way to being a family. Each night, Violet had a Vesper speaker who talked about their religion. On Sunday, we took a little field trip down to the Friends meeting hall where a woman spoke about the Society of Friends. And on Monday, we learned about the Islamic faith. These Vespers taught us to be accepting of others' beliefs and to connect with those of a different religion within a collaborative setting. Monday came bright and early at 6:45. We were off to Team Quest, which was sponsored by UNC Greensboro. The first thing we all noticed was they taught through experimental education. The experimental part made us think of lab rats, but eventually we learned that it was being taught through teamwork, through experiences. The experiences include various icebreakers and group activities. In smaller groups, led by Team Quest advisors, we focused more on team effectiveness and communication. Sam was actually part of my group, and I must say we were really good together as a group. And we even broke some records, which I'll tell about later. Our advisor made our key reminders on our hands. It's a symbol. So the thumb is for having fun, smiling while learning about leadership. The pointer finger is to trust each other and have confidence in ourselves. The middle finger is to come out of your comfort zone. The ring finger is to engage in all activities, and the pinky finger is to act upon one's growth. After each exercise, we would go through and see which goal we had worked on. The main activity that got me out of my comfort zone was called the spider web. So basically, there are two different poles with various ropes strung between them, making different size holes. And although I'm very ticklish and afraid of heights, I was the smallest person in the group, and I got lifted through many of the difficult holes, and that was very interesting. But our group even beat the record doing 20 passes because the objective is to go through as many holes as possible consecutively without touching any of the ropes. After a quick lunch and more bonding, we progressed to the main event, the ropes course. Our small group of 10 was split up into 5s, and we progressed through various activities. Every course relied on the group members trusting each other and communicating efficiently. Our first feat was quite fun. So 40 feet above the ground, we leaped 2 to 3 feet onto 3x3 planks. And we had to progress 2 different stages. And I must say those were big leaps of faith. So then our second challenge was consist of 2 people on either side of a rope, and they had to balance each other and the weight on the rope to stand, to hold each other up and cross a 25 linked wire. And I was the lucky odd person, and I got to hold on to someone's shoulders while 2 other people walked on the same wire and wobbled my platform. And even though I fell off, all my group members encouraged me to go on, and I finally got to the platform. Then the final part was the zip line, and most people say this is the most fun part. Let's just say I checked it off my list. Overall, the experience strengthened confidence in ourselves and trust in each other. Okay, now with me. Here's Wilder. He's going to talk about Tuesday and Wednesday. Thank you, guys.
I'm just going to stand right here. I think I can talk loud enough. She did a great job, by the way.
Mooning.
Nowhere near. Try not to moon anybody. But overall, I just had a great week at camp, guys. You know, just an amazing week. I learned a lot about myself and a lot about everyone there, and I made some good friends, and we're actually already planning another event where we can all get together and see everyone. I just had a great time. Basically on Tuesday, we got back our Myers-Briggs testing results, which is basically just like a big personality test about who you are and how you think and how you perceive things and the way you kind of see the world. So basically the first letter that you have is, are you introverted or extroverted? And that's basically, introverts are more to themselves and quiet kind of, but usually maybe have better thoughts or deeper thoughts than maybe someone who's extroverted who like me, just likes to talk and is, you know, pretty open to everyone. And then the next letter would be sensing versus intuition, I versus S. And someone like me who has intuition is usually, the way she explained it, let's say if we're going on a trip or a vacation or something, I just want to get in the car and go. I'm not going to think twice about it, I'm just going to go. Someone who's sensing may say, do we have gas? Do we have a map? Do we have food? Do we have this? Do we have that? I don't care. I want to get in the car and go. You know? And then the next letter would be thinking versus feeling. And she explained, Lisa, the head girl, explained basically someone who thinks the example she gave would be like in a relationship. You know, if you're in a relationship and someone cheated on you, you're instantly just going to say, oh, they cheated on me, I'm done with you. And then someone who's more of a feeler is going to think, well, how do I feel about that? You know, what am I, you know, or how are they going to feel if I just leave them? A thinker is just going to be like, you know, be logical and straight to the point. And then the last one would be perceiving versus judging, which those two, there's not much difference there, really. Well, I guess judgers just wanted more, they needed more structure, and then perceivers are just kind of like they wait to the last minute, but they still do a good job. So basically, once we take these tests, you see that everyone is different from you. Everyone has a different view. You know, some people are extroverted, some people are introverted, and part of being a leader is seeing that all these people are different than you, and that if you want to be a leader, you have to take into account that not everyone's going to have the same view as you. You have to accommodate for everyone, and you have to look out for everyone, and you have to look and really treat everyone's view and allow them and realize everyone's different strengths and then put them together as a leader. You can't just say, oh, we're going to do it my way and talk over everyone. And that's one of the things that Lisa really taught us is how you deal with someone who's introverted and how you deal with a feeler when you're a thinker. And that's what we really learned, because to be a leader, you need to gain followers and you want the respect of your followers, even though they're going to be different from you, because not everyone's going to be like you. And then Pharo B was basically, you have 3 letters, control, inclusion, and affection. And then basically you have your wanted and expressed for all 3 of those. And it's basically the same kind of thing. So basically your inclusion, like my wanted inclusion was very high. I like to be included in things. And my expressed inclusion is very high. I like to include others as well. And then surprisingly, my express control, which I always thought was high, which is another thing is taking these tests, is you start to realize maybe, you know, what I always thought about myself wasn't true. My express control was kind of low. It was like a 3. And then my wanted control was a 0. I don't like people telling me what to do, but that's part of what this camp was about, was working on those things, you know, that you have to sometimes allow people to take over when you're not fit to take over. And that's part of being a leader too, is letting other people be leaders. And then the other letter was affection, like how open you are to people, which surprisingly mine was kind of low, which I never thought, but you know, hey, you learn something new all the time. And then that night, it's kind of a funny story, I heard that some of the girls were upstairs and they were trying to learn how to shag. So, and it was after 11, and at 11 you're supposed to be on your same-sex hallway. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll just go help them out. So anyways, I walk up there, and they're like, "Wow, what are you doing? You can't be up here. You can't be up here." And I was like, "Well, y'all trying to learn how to shag?" And they're like, "Yeah, we are." And I spun one of them really fast, and I walked away, and they're like, "Whoa, where are you going? Where are you going?" And they grabbed me and pulled me back. But yeah, anyways, it was a great week, guys. I had a lot of fun, did a lot of cool things, you know, learned how to be a leader, and outside of that, I met some really nice and great people, and build a lot of friendships, and I hope that I can stay in touch with everyone. And I had a great week, and I thank Rotary for putting it on for me.
Hey everybody, I'm Sam Elliott. Wilder did a great job, looks great. Unbelievable. I don't know where he got the idea for a sports jacket. I am supposed to talk about Thursday and Friday. For Thursday, at Wednesday, we had 90 minutes to get in a group that we've never worked with before. And so we knew we had to build something to represent teamwork. And nobody knew what we were doing or anything. And we didn't have any building structure, like we didn't know what we were going to build with, but we had to like create some kind of sculpture, and we had 90 minutes to plan it out. And so Thursday morning, we got to get all of our supplies for 45 minutes and work with that same group and build something to represent teamwork. So they gave us all these supplies, I guess. They were all just like bendy straws and stuff we had no idea what to do with. And so when we got our bendy straws, we started building and we came up with something, and halfway through they threw in a curveball, like you have to add in something that we've learned this week, which was really, really hard. Like we had to throw in like team planning, which was like forming, storming, norming, and performing, which was just like the steps of working as a team. So that was pretty difficult, being under the gun with only 22 minutes left and having to throw in something completely new. And so we ended up presenting them in front of the whole camp pretty much, and that was interesting, trying to figure out what to do under pressure and that stuff.
What'd you make?
We made a lock and a key. Like the key was what everybody brought to the table, and the lock was like our unlimited potential. And so like we had a key, and then we'd lock it, and then we had a chain, which was like all the chain links were reliant on each other to stay as one group, which was just representing of teamwork and our idea of it. And then we did the Vesper on Thursday was a Methodist, which I thought it was just Christian. So I thought he was just going to talk about Jesus and Christian beliefs like all the other Vespers, but he came in and taught us all about Methodism and the history of it, and I never knew anything about that because I've never been to a Methodist church. So I have any interesting fact you want to know about Methodism. And on Friday, we had to develop our leadership brand, which I wanted to inspire everyone in the team to maximize their potential and to all work together. Like I work alongside the people I'm trying to lead. Because I've always thought of a leader as working with the people, and the boss as ordering people to do something and then stepping back and letting them do it instead. And then we had to set our goals for what we wanted, like as we learned through the camp, like what we wanted with our goals and like how we were going to achieve them, and like things that tested our leadership abilities at home so we could take it home and apply what we've learned. And then, this was weird. All right, so we were told to bring a towel, a notebook, and a pen to our classroom. So we all showed up. We're like, what's going on? And then as soon as we walked in, they're like, no talking for an hour and a half. And we're all like, all right. And so we got in, lights were turned off, and she was like, please lay down. So we all lay down, and she was like, get in the most comfortable place that you can be. And so I just laid down with my towel on my head. And she started playing this like Asian music that was like what you would expect like a hippie woman to play while she was it was like a meditation seminar, and like she just said relax, and she started going through all we did this week, and we had it imagined in our brains, like every single little piece that we've done throughout the thing, and like learning that and meeting new people. And so then after that, she was just like, all right, now go follow your leader. And so we just went outside, not talking, and I was just like, and we just kept walking and walking. And I didn't even know where we were. And we reached this lake, and there was trails all along the lake. And so they split us up, and we got to sit alone for 2 hours, hour and a half, just writing a letter to ourselves that we're going to receive in 3 months about what goals we had developmentally, as a family, and as our key leadership development, which is what we could do back home in like a certain club or a sports team to be a leader. And so after about 30 minutes of sitting all alone, I decided to go climb a tree with Wilder instead of and then go exploring in a creek and getting yelled at, which was my favorite part. But that was a great experience, being able to really apply what we've learned, and in a few months that we'll be able to get those results, that letter, and be able to see what we learned all over again. And then we did skits making fun of everybody. And me and Wilder thought we were going to get made fun of because there's been rumors, because we played a game called Slaps. And it was just like a real intense game, and when anybody would get out, we'd go, "Wow!" like really loud, and so we thought we were going to get made fun of that, but we didn't, so it was awesome. And Wilder did a great job teaching people to shag, and he even got the camp director to shag with him. And it was awesome because she was always uptight and stuff. No fun allowed, but water. That was awesome. And I'd like to thank y'all for inviting me here today. And it was great meeting all of these people. And I knew Wilder before, but it was great knowing him and having a good friend there to be with me. But then also meeting so many new people and so many diverse minds that we got to work with. And it was a great experience. Thank you guys for letting me do this.
One thing I meant to mention before, Mary Catherine Midget also went to the program. She is traveling this week and was not able to be here to speak, but she sent her best. I know that she had a great time too. So this is why we do what we do. These are the future leaders, the future Rotarians of the world. Treasurer headed off to Chapel Hill, and we wish her the best, but we know that Rotary's made an impact on her, and these folks still have a year or two left in high school, but raise money, fundraise on that note, because we couldn't do it without what we do in our fundraiser. So.
Anyone have any quick questions for anyone here? And I will say, Wilder, good job on MBTI and FIRO. Those are not easy to explain.
Yeah.
Well, any questions anyone want to know about Methodist? Yeah, I mean, CCL's been happy to partner with Guilford College and the Greensboro Club for, gosh, I think it's like 20 years now. And certainly appreciated all the Rotarians' feedback about the experience, though I was a little surprised. I was like, because they're like, it was such a life-changing, transformational experience. And I was like, we are number 5 in the world. CCL number 5 in the world, with Harvard and NCID and London School of Economics in leadership development, actually executive education. So yeah.
But that's for CEOs. We're talking about 15-year-olds.
But yeah, we have proven methods, and yeah, that whole thing at the end where you have to be quiet for 2 hours. Yeah, that's really difficult for the students.
Especially for me.
Yeah, easier for the introverts, much harder for the extroverts. But yeah, just glad that we had such a wonderful time. So I think I forgot to say it last week, but we are still doing the card fund, certainly. So don't forget the card fund. Let's see. Get you to select that. You want to read the last 3 digits?
991.
Well done.
All right, so have a wonderful day. Don't forget the fundraising committee.